Yeah, we had a chat with this girl, and we found a picture of her great-great-grandmother. I remember this. Go on. You're in this picture, Mr. Wells. A picture dated 1888.
Would you care to elaborate?
I remember that vividly. Her name was Ada Wilson. Sweet young woman, although she didn't know when to shut her mouth.
So you're telling us that you did attack Ada Wilson in 1888?
Of course I did. I wanted to slaughter that whore. She got away before I could finish her off. You see, even a criminal mastermind like me can fuck up occasionally.
So, given your capabilities, I'm assuming that Ada Wilson wasn't your only victim.
Of course she wasn't, Detective. She was the first of many.
What are you trying to say, Wells?
Name any unsolved murder case in history, Detective. I am responsible. Ask me any question about any case and I can give you solid answers. You know, they've given me countless nicknames over the years.
What?
Zodiac Killer, Atlas Vampire, and my personal favourite, Jack the Ripper. I could go on and on.
I've heard enough.
Are you sure? You haven't heard about my secret yet?
So, you're going to tell us everything, Hunter Wells?
I was born into what I thought was a peaceful world. A world that lacked violence and crime. Homicide didn't exist in my mind. I was totally oblivious to it. When I was 17, it claimed the life of my mother. I couldn't work out why it had to be her. A model human being. This drove me to the point of near insanity, so I decided to find out what it'd be like to be the maker of death's decisions. So many people do not appreciate the true value of life. My mother was not one of them. My grandfather had given me this necklace a couple of weeks beforehand for my birthday, telling me it possessed great powers. I didn't really listen. I mean, what a remarkable thing to say. So, shortly after my mother passed away, I found the necklace once again, bearing in mind what my grandfather had told me. I thought it would be able to provide me with some kind of commiseration, and as I sat there, grasping the necklace, wishing so desperately to be far from my problems, I found myself in peculiar surroundings. I stumbled across a newspaper in the churchyard and was astounded at the date. I was in 1888. I noticed a young woman stumbling across the churchyard, swinging back a bottle of vodka. I was outraged. I experienced something I'd never felt before. I hated someone. She came towards me in a drunken state, offering me her body. I couldn't bear to see a young woman abusing her life like that. And in a mixture of confusion, grief, and disgust, I reached for the bullet on my grandfather's necklace and stabbed her twice, before seeing her stagger off in the distance. It felt good to be in control, and I instantly became addicted to this feeling. It was like I was feeding off the power from the necklace. I was hungry for more, and that's when I decided to journey through time, killing anyone that took my fancy. I tend to vary my killing technique so there's no connection, although occasionally I like to trick the public into thinking that there is. I'm particularly proud of my new nickname, the Cobra. You know, I've been doing this for 8 years, my time.
Your time?
I've been killing people for hundreds of years. My mother only died last year in your time, but as I've been travelling forwards and backwards, I've adopted a timeline of my own. I even get to revisit some of my victims, which is what's been captured on this photo. I'm technically 18 years old, although I appear as a 25-year-old to you. I know this may confuse you detectives, but think about it, please.
I'm afraid we're going to have to arrest you, Mr. Wells. It's about time the families of your victims got some answers.
But if you have the ability to change time, then surely you can prevent this from happening.
Thank you for your time.
afternoon, Mr. Wells. I'm DC Leonard O'Connor. This is my colleague, DI Stephanie Cosworth. I'm sure you recognise her for the many crime scenes you've interfered with.
Yes, how can I help you, officers?
Do you mind if we come in?
Certainly.
We received a phone call yesterday from a young girl who's certainly been following her, Mr. Wells.
Yeah, we had a chat with this girl, and we found a picture of her great-great-grandmother on her mantelpiece.
Go on.
You're in this picture, Mr. Wells. A picture dated 1888.
Would you care to elaborate?
I was in a picture dated 1888. How is that possible?
Take a closer look, Mr. Wells.
Are you serious? Do you really think that I stalked this woman in the 1880s? This is absurd. I doubt your superior would have sent you on such a ridiculous basis for inquiry. You know, I think you should leave now. It's nice to know that while the victims' families are sitting, waiting for answers, the police are wasting their time questioning lookalikes of long-dead stalkers in old photos. I'm sure the papers will be very interested in this story.
Okay, we're sorry to have bothered you, but, you know, we have to follow all lines of inquiry. Thank you for your time.